When it comes to binge watching, teens and young children are those most at risk to feel the psychological weight of what they watch. Platforms like Netflix and Hulu have accelerated us into a world with unknown possibilities, good and bad.
I plug into YouTube. I have to. That's my thing.
Armando Dominguez does not binge watch himself, but he does study it. He is the lead mental health assessor for MHMR in San Angelo and says that we can already see short-term effects that comes with binge watching.
It also has lent itself to this, we would call a very compulsive behavior pattern that many times limits physical activity, especially we try to compress a lot of watching into a small bit of time.
According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, binge watching is defined as watching many TV episodes in rapid succession. Dominguez says the activity can result in sleep disruption due to artificial light, technology dependence, and health issues because of the lack of exercise.
During the summers, generally we see activity levels go up historically, but whenever technology comes on the scene, we start seeing more of what we call hypokinesia or lack of movement.
However, the unknown territory is the psychological impact it will have on viewers.
There's going to be a rush. Sometimes that payoff is that emotional load, and sometimes when people watch stuff, they go in there with a sense of, I want to be moved.
While serial programming studies are still new, researchers have recognized that the type of content being binge-watched is a major factor. One evaluation looked at how a graphic suicide scene in the TV show 13 Reasons Why pushed certain audience members towards action.
Out of those 63, 71% reported that whenever they had an incident involving suicidality, that show was referenced and that there was an effect there. And those that actually attempted, I believe there were 22% of those 63 that said that was the reason why their symptoms actually worsened.
Fortunately, not all binge watching is negative. If you are invested in a show, there is a social payoff. You can connect with other viewers and feel a part of a group.
We reference the characters that we see. We reference the situations in certain shows, and that becomes our social connectivity thing.
Dominguez recommends monitoring what your children watch and how long they spend in front of the TV. For Fox West Texas, I'm Sydney Timmer.
Startle if you're particularly sensitive, or you may startle at a very subtle level. And do that every year.
Park.
Yeah, Glenmore Park.
Yes,
yeah.
Glenmore Park. I had him on.
Really smart. I'm just persistent. That's all. Cortexes, that has to do with memory, recall, ABCs 1, 2, 3s, balance and check. The Notebook, whenever that came out years back. Yes, I watched it, but there you go. But it's along those lines where we go with this expectation. Sometimes it exceeds our expectation, but not always in a positive sense. Someone has limited time, and you can do what you would have done over a season generally, if you're working and over 3 or 4 months you watch this many shows, but instead you do it within a period of several hours, it will definitely accelerate it. You do something long enough for enough years, and there's going to be this behavior pattern that would allow them to be consumers. So how many shows have you ever gone to where it's like, I'm going because, oh yeah, everyone said they liked it and they were crying at the end of the movie, and it was a really, The Notebook, whenever that came out, years back. Yes, I watched it, but there you go. But it's along those lines where we go with this expectation. Sometimes it exceeds our expectation. Magnum PI, that was my thing. I used to watch that, X-Files as well. But it wasn't quite the binge watch effect like in streaming, though. We got to be careful what the content is and understand what it is that are the underlying suggestions many times versus just the overt wham bang, this is enjoyable and let's talk and have fun, because there's definitely an influence. I'm supposed to have a serious face, right? Stress. We have blood flow leave the brain. We also have it leave our stomach. I don't mind learning. I always want to learn until that's delivering it. Body language is 50% call as event pictures, memories. Many people will say they remember it as kind of like a mental flash or a picture flash. That's how fast it is, 150 to 300 milliseconds fast.
Do you binge watch yourself?
No,
You don't?
I do not.
Are you not a TV person?
Oh, I used to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to watch a long time ago when there were still VHS, Magnum PI. That was my thing. Become kind of an accepted term. But the term binge, generally speaking, is something that's a negative behavior in the sense that it's not healthy for the individual.